one of the mountains covered still in snow, when there isn't any snow on the lowland left at all actually. The temperature, let me just get the temperature up, a very pleasant 13 degrees here in Austria. We're in the third day of the journey. It's actually, is that even right? Because I started on the Sunday, so if you called that the first day, going to Brno the second day, going to Bratislava the third day, it's now the fourth day, isn't it? Of the 8 days. Gosh, it's going fast actually. Nearly half the time will be gone by the end of today, but will even half of the mileage be gone? Well, that's debatable. I'm thinking of going to Prague after Vienna so that I get the free night. Hopefully that will be possible, and I will make my mind up about it at the end of today if I feel like it, or if I don't feel like it. I don't have to go back to Brno because despite the strange telephone call that came to our office saying I'd left stuff in Brno, it became apparent after a while that it was actually the next people using the room who got in already into the room. They put their stuff in the room, and then somehow the cleaning lady then went into the room only after the new people had gone in, which can't have been too nice for them. Not that I tend to leave a complete mess behind myself, but maybe another cleaning lady had done it, not marked it for the second cleaning lady. I don't know how they managed to get it confused. Actually, there should be systems that prevent such confusions, but when they did think that I'd left my my stuff in the room. So this goes on to Budapest, and this goes on to Vienna, so you have to turn off to go to Vienna. Usually I don't even look at this, I just feel it happen, because I've got my eyes shut on the back seat. Now I know roughly whereabouts I am in the journey to the airport, but the airport's on the Bratislava side of Vienna, and still from the airport into Vienna is quite a distance. When I get to that point, it's 38 kilometers now to Vienna. I get to that point, I'll switch on Old Faithful here, and she can jabber on and check at me and tell me what to do. So the place I'm going to is the Ritz-Carlton, which is nice, I suppose. I went to the Ritz-Carlton. I went to the SAS Carlton. Carlton isn't always a Ritz-Carlton. Sometimes it's some kind of other Carlton. But in Bratislava it's called the SAS Carlton. And that one didn't even offer you, if you were sitting there having a cup of coffee and a water and a glass of juice for the person you're having a meeting with, because I had a meeting in there. If that costs you 12 euros, which is the same as I spent on my whole evening meal at a Chinese restaurant in Bratislava, I would have expected that there'd at least be free Wi-Fi, but then when you get the connection, you can connect, and then oops-a-daisy, if you're not a resident, then even though you just paid through the nose for some few drinks, you're still not allowed to have the free Wi-Fi. You have to buy some rather expensive connection using your credit card over the Wi-Fi connection, just to get into the normal internet and the full service, so you can check your mails and have all the other things happen that a mobile phone does when it gets into a Wi-Fi coverage and starts downloading the audiobooks you've ordered and things, or uploads the photos you've taken to Dropbox and stuff like that. If you've told it not to do it until you've got the opportunity to. So a clever mobile phone like the Samsung Note 2 can be instructed to hold its horses until you get to Wi-Fi coverage. Once it knows it's got Wi-Fi coverage, it's got a list of things which it then starts to do, and then little alarm bells start going off, and notifications that it's done them start appearing on the notification screen. It's all very good. I love my little telephone. It's great, fantastic. Basically, yeah, talking about a number of things at once as ever. So yeah, road to Austria. Now it's slightly different. Obviously we came off that motorway on another one which has a slightly different feel to it. It's unusual to see this red colour, by the way, the red temporary markings. Normally on continental Europe, if you've got temporary markings which overrule the usual white markings, which are the long-term road markings, then they tend to be made from yellow, which at least mean they show up a bit more brightly on our eyes with the black background than white does. See, white on black, that fades to grey in our minds, and that's why in nature all the things that want to kind of look alarming, they actually have yellow on black. Things like a lot of snakes have that pattern, and a lot of insects that want to show that they're toxic, that want to say to you, look, I can sting you, but I don't want to. Or things like hoverflies that want to pretend they can sting you when they can't anyway. They go for this yellow on black arrangement because it shows up to our eyes actually better than black on white. That's also the reason why British number plates have yellow, black on yellow at the back, black on white at the front, because you need to be able to see it more clearly when it's going away from you than when it's coming towards you. I suppose that's the argument. Why they don't just do yellow on black on both sides, I don't know. I suppose it's in order so that people can also tell more easily which is the front, which is the back of some cars, because actually there's times when it's difficult to tell. So, but in continental Europe you tend to not have yellow used much. White is the order of the day. Poland used to have white on black. Now it has the usual black on white that most of Europe have. And just a few countries have a black on yellow approach, and usually then limited to the rear. Although Holland, actually, if I'm correct, I think Holland still uses black on yellow both at the front and at the rear. So anyway, I may be out of date because Western Europe, I haven't driven in for a couple of years. They may already be doing different things, but we'll see that on the journey for those who are remotely interested. But the reason actually did come initially from observations about nature and tests on the perception of the human eye and how it reacts to black on different colours. So why they're using red here is beyond me. I don't really know why. It's not a very pleasant colour to see on the road. It reminds one of blood, of course. Blood on the road is not necessarily the thing that you want to be seeing. Maybe it's to make people instinctively drive that bit slower because they're a little bit put out by the fact that there's all this reminder of blood around the place. Maybe that's why the Austrians did it. I don't know. I don't remember seeing that red on black anywhere. But yellow on black is usually what they put on in continental Europe to let people know that it's this is the temporary marking, which is overruling the usual marking, which is the white on black. So there we go. I suppose it's the reason why they don't do yellow on black the whole time is maybe it's a bit expensive to do yellow on black. Maybe white is just a cheaper colour to produce in large quantities. I mean, you don't want to be adding saffron into the mix and then putting it on the street, do you? So yeah, and a lot of those yellow ones are yellow tapes which get laid down and then pulled back up again. What this red paint is, it looks like it's been painted on rather than taped on. How it's going to come back off again, whether they're just going to go and they're going to wash it off and it washes off easier than the white stuff, or whether they're just going to completely redo the road, I just don't know. These are obviously nice bright white on black ones, and they look as though they've been repainted not long ago. Clearly they will wear down over time. There's some here that are next to it, if you can see there, that have been removed. some middle of the road markings which have now been removed and moved to the further to the left, and I can see that they had been yellow before. So this is probably extremely boring for people, but never mind, it's interesting for me. So there we are. People at least can know oh, there's a yellow, and immediately can tell, even though they don't say anything, that that's a British car because it's got the black on yellow registration plate. I hope this droning isn't putting people off doing their own car journeys, because well, maybe if it did, then that might be a good thing, because there's enough cars anyway, but never mind. I'm seeing a lot of these Cemex.at vehicles. I've seen quite a few of them on the road so far. Some of them way back up in Prague even, coming down. I get the impression they're taking cement to somewhere in Austria from a Polish cement works. There are several good ones, big ones anyway, in Poland. Rugby Group and Lafarge cement works are there. We have large reserves of marl in Poland, so the cement is, well, plentiful, put it that way. Yeah, now we are 8:84, so yes, I did get past 20% of the incredible journey, and I will see you all a little bit later on, hopefully. Bye for now.